Hey everybody, and welcome to Maximum Libertarian. I am Brian.
Dean here.
And if you haven't already, please go down below, click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and then what do they do?
Smash that like button.
Yeah, smash the like button and share it with all your family and friends. This is kicking off the week. This is Monday, March 15th. So, big news, I guess. This past weekend, Joe Biden, the Democrats, unity prevailed with 0 Republicans joining the unity, but they got through that massive $1.9 trillion bill. You know, that wasn't for the people. For People Act was the garbage bill that they're trying to do.
That was the American Recovery Act.
Yeah, okay. It's a beautiful
whatever
name.
You want to call it.
Yeah, anything, whenever it sounds beautiful and stuff, it means it's going to be bad news for you.
Hey, what's not beautiful about that bill?
What's that?
The states can get all this money, right? And if they want to choose to actually try to pay down and lower taxes, they can't do it. It prohibits them from lowering taxes with the money.
Really?
Wow. Yeah, man.
Well, congratulations to the idiots that passed that bill without looking into it. So, as with everything,
congratulations to the socialists, because we're absolutely going into a socialist utopia.
Well, I think we've already made it in there. I think now what we're having to do is try to dig our way out, because what we've got a mixed. It's kind of mixed up, where we've got like the free market, this freedom, the liberties, but then we're being forced for public schools, and so many other things.
Hey, free market. Smokey the Bear.
Right.
Because only you can prevent forest fires. It's your responsibility.
That's right. Absolutely, my friend.
He's a libertarian at heart.
What's that?
He really is a libertarian at heart.
Right. Well, because it's the individual. Yep. So let's go to our news story right now. It's going to be from Bloomberg.
No worries.
So since Bloomberg, he's now President Biden adds the first major tax hike since 1993 in the next economic plan. And if you go down here, this is the first guy that ran that I ever remember running. And Donald Trump said it, and he was correct. I've never seen anyone run with the, hey, we're going to raise taxes. Maybe there has been, but people knows when, if you don't know, you're going to know now. You're going to raise taxes on the rich. And, but in reality, it comes back down to us. So anyone that's in this middle class, below middle class, you get to pay the taxes too. So
we're the ones going to be hurting the worst from it, because that's where it's going to be aimed at. The richest people are going to get away with it. The low class is going to get hurt, but the middle class is going to be hurt worse than anybody, because they're the ones going to have to pick up the pieces.
Correct. Like I said, this is the first major tax hike since 1993. In 2013, the Democrats just allowed the taxes that Bush had cut to, just because he had set a date, if they're not renewed, they just faded away. So in turn, it's not really a plan to raise taxes. Correct. The one thing that President Biden has said he will not do is the wealth tax increase, and that's something that Senator Warren has been pushing for. So if you keep going down in here for the Biden administration, these opportunities to fund key infrastructure, climate, and expand help for poor Americans. Well, we know
they're trying to shove that Green New Deal up our ass, and that can't happen. We have to really fight back against that.
Well, the bad thing is the Green New Deal is a bad news thing. It's, once again, it only hurts the poor. It don't help nobody. And it will make other countries stronger, because China, India, and all that good, the fine folks over there, they will gladly use coal and oil and stuff to make sure their factories and things are powered
Were
properly.
you stimulated?
No, I have not been stimulated yet. Have you?
Wow. Yes, I have.
Wow, that was quick. Congratulations.
It's weird, but you're not winning. I don't care if you stimulated me or not, Biden, and it doesn't win any hearts and minds.
Well, all you have to do is look at it, and
You help me
then
pay a couple
once you,
bills.
you so well, the problem is you've just printed more money. So
Yep.
now we're look, Jason Stapleton from the Wealth, Power, and Influence podcast, which he's a wonderful guy. I highly recommend anyone listen to it or go watch him on Facebook or Twitter or wherever you can watch his stuff. But he talked about he spoke with a individual who was in finances, and he said back in the 2008 financial crisis, everyone jumps around and talks about hyperinflation. And one of the reasons that it did not take place then was because they were printing money, absolutely, but it stayed within inside the financial institution. The problem we've now done, courtesy of Donald Trump, courtesy of the Republicans, courtesy of Joe Biden, courtesy of the Democrats, they have now taken that printed money and thrown it out into the public. So now we have more dollars out in the public, and that is what will cause the hyperinflation. That's what they were saying. I'm just repeating them. So
Yep.
if I'm wrong, please put it in the comments below, and we will get to some comments later. But as you can see, I just want to go over this real quick. They're going to raise the corporate tax from 28% to 21%. Gary Johnson's idea was to lower it to 0. And why was that? Do you remember? I'll tell you why. Because Gary Johnson said if the companies who are running, because the reason the companies and corporations, anyone's going to try to keep them as much money as they possibly can. So they take their company overseas. But if we had a 0 tax rate, that means they get to keep, they don't have to pay anything, Gary.
Yep.
Then guess what? If they don't bring their companies back home, then there's a real issue. But right now, there's no reason. But why would they come back when we're going to raise the corporate tax rate? Paring back tax preferences for so-called pass-through businesses such as limited liability companies or partnerships, raising the income tax on individuals for more than $400,000. And see, once again, we're pitting individuals. So people below $400,000 are sitting there going, ha, 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 let the rich pay. They already pay so much of the taxes anyway. Now we're demanding them to pay more on our failed policies and our failed programs that, yeah, sure, we've got schools. Sure, we've got roads. But guess what? The schools are garbage for the most part.
They're actually trying to make
we don't have no accountability there.
They're trying to make the Americans, and specifically the middle class and lower class, dependent on the government.
Yes. And that's exactly. Look, when Donald Trump got on the microphone after this bill was passed back in December, and we're getting ready to go into a runoff election down in Georgia, he goes, "Hey, everybody, we should have been paying $2,000." Well, guess what, stupid? That immediately gave the Democrats the ability to go out there and go, "You elect me, I'm going to get you the $2,000," because the Republicans in the Senate was not going to pass that bill. I've never seen a guy in Donald Trump, and I get it, a lot of Republicans hate him, and he hates a lot of Republicans. I've never seen something like that where the outgoing president pretty much slides a car bomb, or a pipe bomb, a pipe bomb underneath someone's, and just took away all their power. It was shocking to me.
Yep, that's ridiculous.
So, but that's good old DJT. And so let's just go down here. White House, they're expecting, let's see, he doesn't intend to boost taxes earning less than $400,000, but folks on top who've been able to benefit from the economy and haven't been hit this hard, there's a lot of room there to think about what kind of revenues we can raise. And I believe it's down here. They're they're penciling in. You can raise, was it penciling in $2 to $4 trillion. No
Yep.
date has been set for the announcement, but the White House said the plan would follow signing the COVID relief bill. So this is piss poor leadership from a piss poor president. I'm sorry to let everyone know. I know that probably hurt some feelings of some individuals, but
Who cares?
look, I will say this to individuals who are celebrating this $1,400,
Yeah.
$1,400. You've been hoodwinked, you've been swindled, and look, and I'm going to always stand by this. Look, the ship's sinking with the current leadership we've got. So take what you can, run with it, pay off your bills, buy gold, pay off your mortgage, do things with it, because I'm telling you, very soon the dollar's going to be dead, and we're going to be sucking for air, courtesy of the Democrats and Republicans.
Yep, it's awful.
So I think that was something that I wanted to talk about today, and because I believe as a libertarian, personally, I think you're always going to need some form of taxes, possibly. Let's see, we've got a comment here. I think it's possibly you might need some form, but if it was me and I was in that position, I would like to see a national sales tax. I would like to see a flat tax or a fair tax, because that way, if I was to buy a used car, then I don't have to pay taxes. You're only paid for brand new stuff. The tax, the only time it gets taxed. And me personally, that's what I would like to do. But that means you have to cut a lot of forms of our dependency on the government.
Absolutely. And what the government's trying to do right now is allow you to depend on them. They want you to depend on them.
Right. And so my question to you, Dean, if you win your election, if this November, what is there anything that you want to do with the state of Virginia tax code?
One of the thing is, and it's strictly put out in my on my rack cards, is the fair tax. I want the fair tax implemented in the state of Virginia. We are in a situation where we spend more money than we receive. We keep putting ourselves into debt. And the only way to stop that debt is to do something like the fair tax, make it fair for everybody who consumes at their level. If you consume 18% and you're rich, well, $100,000 and higher, or $1 million, you get 18% of that $1 million. But if you consume 10% of $60,000, you've only have that much money you have to tax. If you didn't want $1,000, $10 worth of taxes, $100 worth of taxes, whatever percentage you put it at. I mean, it's fair to everybody, and it's not going to be bigger cuts for the higher up money versus the low down money, where it's going to affect them more, where you're going to cut more, have more money taken out of their taxes. So it's very important that we have something in place like the fair tax, where you're getting taxed properly and not paying for the rich, or paying a higher tax rate because of them.
Well, I just think really in the end of the day, as libertarians, what we should be doing is, instead of pitting one group against one group, because that's how you take away power, that's how you control individuals, is I'm going to be angry at the rich man for not paying his fair share. The poor guy's going to be yelling at me because I'm making more money than him. Now we're just doing a circle. Now me and the poor guy will be yelling at the rich guy, and so forth and so on, until we actually look to our dear leaders and say, quit putting your hands around our neck and trying to choke us to death and demanding more. Maybe you need to take what you've got and spend it properly. And
exactly, that's my point.
When you really look into it, I think you'll be able to see that there's more waste than there is.
The less regulations that we have on people, and the the fair tax would really help the people that, from the amount of money they have to put out on taxes. We're way
Correct.
overtaxed. We're taken for a ride. This country is being right now put into a position where they want you to depend on government. They want you to be a socialist / running towards communism, because that's what socialists do. They want you to have government everything. That's what socialism is all about. And socialism has never worked, no matter where it's been placed at.
Now
So,
let me. All right. Well, now we can roll into this thing. Last week we did a. Oh, let me bring it up. Last week we did a video. We did a live stream, and it was talking about the Nevada Democrats, and they quit because the Democratic Socialists of America, they came in, they did really well in 2016. They infiltrated the DNC of Nevada, and like I said, they took all 5 power positions there. And this is what I want to talk about, and this is what I really want to speak. With the comments, he said, he quotes us saying socialism does not work, and he said look into the Mine Dragon Worker Co-op in Spain. And that was actually, if you can go online and look that up. Teach me. I think that's in the end of the day. I want people, just because I say, hey, I believe in the free market, I believe in the individual. If you have something like it, show it to me. I'll go and I'll look it up. I'll read about it. And that's what we want. But if you look above, James Williams there, courtesy, he says, as you can see, he said, this is how he writes it. No wonder you guys have 27 subscribers. You are morons. And I guess you've never traveled anywhere outside of Arkansas, but the so-called socialist countries like Norway are what this country could be one day, but better. See, and I just gave a little friendly reply of, why are you so angry? Thanks for watching. If you ever feel like having a friendly discussion, let us know. Thanks again. That was it about him. We'll go on and cut that down. We'll bring back up. But I think on the end of the day, what I just wanted to say is, with this channel, with the Libertarian movement, teach me. I think we need to know. I'm not you, me, or dear leaders in D.C., Richmond, or into city council. We don't know everything. The guy knows they don't know anything. But we're trying to teach ourselves and make sure we do the best thing possible for the community and for individuals. And I don't believe in socialism, but if a group of individuals want to form a socialist commune, more power to you. But once you start forcing me to pay for it, then we have an issue. That's where I think we're going to bump heads,
absolutely.
But I don't like with the comments with Mr. Williams, who called us morons. And I don't think I don't know. Have we ever said anything about living in Arkansas? So obviously,
I don't know where the hell he got that from.
Okay, well, we're in Arkansas, but okay. But I really do hope that we can start getting more people to come on who maybe have different opinions. Just help me help you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Tell me why we're wrong.
Right. And look, if we are wrong, I'll make the adjustment. But until I've seen some type of proof that socialism works, that it doesn't kill the working man's spirit. Because look, if I was working 60 hours a week and you're over there working 30 hours a week, but you're wanting the exact same pay as me, we're going to have a big issue, especially if you're not contributing. You know what I'm saying? So, do you have anything else to put out, Dean?
Now, when it comes to that stuff, not at all. It's makes you want to spin your head around things. Of course, you're gonna give me that shameless plug again. And
well, I've got to real quick, but real quick, I do want to say we're getting a new logo designed by Jonathan Parrish. The podcast, I know we've got a link to it. We have. Or we're hit and miss with our podcast, but that's going to become weekly. It's definitely going to become weekly now. Once we're on all platforms, Apple, Google Play, we're on Spotify, we're on Podbean, we're in other different locations. But once we become on the two major ones, Google and Apple, we will definitely start hitting it, balls to the wall, and we can get actual big guests on here, which I've already spoke with. We've got guests from outside of the state to inside the state. So I did want to say that. But yes, I want to give this shameless plug. Go to Dean Davison for Delegate at davisonfordelegate.com or Facebook at Davison for Delegate 2021. There's his Twitter handle right there. Make sure you go and you subscribe to it or you follow it. And
Saturday looks nice.
Well, that's good. And hey, throw him some money if you got some money too. So I guess that's it for us. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you very much. I hope you've clicked the subscribe button. I hope you've hit the notification bell. And what else should they have done?
Smash that like button.
Yeah, smash that like button. And what else should they do with that? After they smash
share it to anybody they can get it to.
There you go. Share this video. So once again, I'm Brian for Maximum Libertarian.
This is Dean.
And we will see you tomorrow.